today, what I want to teach you is how to manage family properties to avoid rancor, disagreements, or fights between family, and to ensure that this property is efficiently managed to the benefit or for the benefit of the family or beneficiaries. Good day, viewers. You're welcome to another episode of Tomi Talks Legal. And as you all know, my name is Tomilola Daniel. And today I'll be speaking on management of family property. But before I continue, I would like you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, click on the like button, and share very generously with your audience, because you do not know whom this topic might save, quote and unquote. So what is a family property? A family property is a property that is owned in common by people or a group of people related by blood. So when a family owns a property in common, it is regarded or referred to as a family property. So how is a family property created? When the children or dependents or descendants of a deceased inherits a property. What does this mean? Maybe a father or a mother dies, and the property that belongs to them naturally devolves on the children or passes on to the children. So the children own that property in common. It is referred to as a family property. Number two, how can a family property be created? When a family fund is used to purchase or acquire a property. Now, let me give an example of how such funds can come by or come about, where a deceased person has money in bank, or a third party owes them a certain amount of money, and the family or the dependent or descendant of that deceased person agrees together and uses that fund or money to purchase a property, looking into envisaging that property will continually generate income for the family. Number three, how can a family property be created? Through a will, where a testator, if you don't know what a testator is, look out for my topic or the episode where I spoke about will and trust. Now, where a testator puts in his will that his family should own a property in common. That is the three major ways a family property can be created. And we see that most of the times when a family property is created, siblings, family members could have issues, disagreements over how the property is managed or over how revenue is generated and distributed. So most of the time, it is important that there is a vehicle or a form or an agreed way where this family property should be managed. So oftentimes, to avoid disagreements or abandonment of such properties, it is important that family members come together and agree on how these family properties would or should be managed. So today, what I want to teach you is how to manage such family properties to avoid rancor, disagreements, or fights between family, and to ensure that this property is efficiently managed to the benefit or for the benefit of the family or beneficiaries. So how can you manage a family property? There are two ways to manage a family property, either through the family or through a third party. Now, how do you manage the property by the family, or how can the family manage the property by themselves? The way they can manage such property is to appoint a family head. And the family head is usually the most eldest of all the family members, or of all the individual members of the family, which is usually the male figure. In most of the circumstance, this male figure, who is the family head, with other principal members of the family, will sit down in agreement and fashion out a way or a mode in which that property or those properties will be managed and revenue generated, how it is going to be distributed between each of the family members. Where it is a polygamous family, and the deceased husband has, for example, like 5 wives, each of those 5 wives or 5 mothers will have a representative as a principal member of that body. With the family head, they are going to be a principal member to make decisions in agreement with the family head on how that property will be managed. Once they have come to an agreement, it is important that they put it in writing, and each family representative signs and they follow that agreement strict to sensu. Where it happens that money has become an issue, or families usually harbor this fear that the family head or principal members could, sideline them as to the revenue generation or distribution of income. The family can come together, create a joint account, and have certain designated people as signatories to that account, so that when money is to move out of that account, members of the family will be aware of such transactions, and there will be room for transparency and accountability. Where family members rather cannot come to an agreement with the family head, or do not trust themselves enough, or do not have the time to oversee that property, it is advisable for them to use this alternative means to manage their property, rather than abandon it and allow those property degenerate and devalue. The second way to go about this is to appoint a third party. Now, a third party could be a lawyer, a real estate firm, or a law firm, as the case may be, depending on the choice of the family. Now, how do you appoint a third party to oversee the management of this property to ensure maintenance and appropriate or unstalled revenue generation? You appoint such third party by a power of attorney. Now, the power of attorney is going to contain the duties, the obligations, the responsibilities of that third party firm managing that property, and how the family expects the third party firm or property manager to manage such property, and the mode of disbursement of funds. Now, once this is in place, the family no longer carries the burden, of managing the property. And where there is mismanagement of funds or fraudulent activities carried out by this firm, the appropriate bodies that, reports could be made to, and will take the necessary actions against such firms or lawyers. The family could even go as far as stipulating or stating the number of family members, the names of family members, and the accounts, and how the family expects that such funds should be distributed amongst them. Once this is in place, family members have no reason, to bother about the management of their property, but to sit back, relax, and expect their income in due time or as expected. So if this video has been helpful enough for you, please once again kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, click on the like button, and share generously with your audience. Also follow me on TikTok and on Instagram, Tomi Talks Legal. For any comments, questions, or observations, please kindly slide into my DM and I'll be there to answer you. Till I see you on the next episode.